Hey everyone, welcome to Simplilearn's YouTube channel. Today, we will learn how to build a project in Power BI. That's it. If these are the type of videos you'd like to watch, then hit that like and subscribe buttons and the bell icon to get notified.
Craving a career upgrade? Subscribe, like, and comment below. Dive into the link in the description to fast-track your ambitions. Whether you're making a switch or aiming higher, Simplilearn has your back.
Just for a quick info, if you want to upskill yourself, master Power BI skills, and land your dream job, or grow in your career, then you must explore Simplilearn's PL300 Power BI certification training. Simplilearn offers extensive Power BI training. This program enables you to solve business problems and improve operations. This course helps you master the development of dashboards from published reports, discover better insights from the data, and practical recipes from various tasks that you can do using Microsoft Power BI. That's not all, you also get 30 plus hours of blended learning, industry-based projects for experimental learning, dedicated live sessions by faculty of industry experts, industry-recognized course completion certificate, and many more. After completion of this certification, thousands of learners have transitioned into a data analytics role as a fresher or moved on to a higher paying job profile. If you are passionate about making your career in data analytics, then make sure to check out the link in the pinned comment and description box below. Details about PL300 Microsoft Power BI certification training. Now, without further delay, let's get started. Now, let us imagine that you work with a banking organization, which is a really elite or superior one, and you want to give loans to your customers. And apart from having that credit score of 95 and above, you don't want to take any risk with your customers. So you want to make sure that your customers have a good credit score of 105 or above. And if anyone is not matching that criteria, you're not contacting them, you're not giving them loan. Right now, let's say we have the list of customers here, and you just click on the customer name and you get the credit score of the customer, the average DTI, average credit score weight, average credit utility score, and average employment weight, right? And you can also see how their credit score is fluctuating. Is it growing or is it dropping in one single dashboard? And it is also visually aesthetic. Now, how to create such beautiful dashboards in real time using Power BI? So that's exactly what we are going to do here. And before we get started with actually creating this particular dashboard, let's understand the banking terms. What is DTI? What is credit score? What is average utility? What is employment weight and everything? And after that, let's create a perfect template, a beautiful template like the background what we have right now here. And after that, let's create our own data set. So this particular data set is not related to any of the official banking sectors. This is a virtually created, completely different data set, which is not related to any banks in real time, right? So let's also create our own data set using ChatGPT 4. And let's also create our sample data set using ChatGPT 4.0 and then get started with building our dashboard. Now that's it. Let's quickly go back to our PPT. So now let's begin with the agenda for today's session. How do banks lend the loan? And after that, we will check into how to prepare data and template, and followed by that, we will build the final dashboard. Now let's get started with how do banks lend the loan. So if you want to take a loan from any bank, they take care of 4 different parameters: utility, DTI, 2 years job, and credit score. Let's understand all these 4. So the first parameter is utility. Now let's say you have a credit card and your credit card bank limit is $10,000 and you're supposed to use only 30% of that particular credit card, which means if you are under $3,000, which if you're using $3,000 or less, then your utility is 25%. So this particular criteria will carry 25% of the weight, right? Remember the 4 parameters. So all these 4 parameters are based on your utilization, right? So if you are in the parameter given, let's say your utility is less than $3,000 per month based on your, 30% of your credit card balance, then you will gain the credit score weight of 25% from here. If you are, spending more than that, let's say your limit is for 10,000 and you're spending 4,000, then this particular weight will drop. But if you're just spending $1,000 or anything less than 25 or 30% of your credit card, then you'll get the entire full weight of 25% and not more than that. But if you are spending more than the provided utility limit, then your weight might go down from 25 to 23, 22 and around that, right? Now the next requirement or the parameter is DTI. So this is based on your monthly income, right? So how much income you're getting, gross monthly income, and it will be divided by the total monthly EMI. So the rent, the bike EMIs, car EMIs, everything. Sum of that divided by your gross monthly income into 100. So this again carries 25% of your weight. And the next third parameter is 2 years of job. So to get a loan, you should have minimum of 2 years of job, right? And if you're having anything above 2 years, like 3 years or anything, then you'll get full weight of 20%. And if you are having less experience or less job, like maybe 1.5 years of job period less, which is compared to the actual requirement, it is less, right? So in that scenario, your weight might go a little too down, right? Maybe around 15% or 18%. And lastly, you will have the credit score. So many people call it CIBIL score or credit score. This is also based on your credit score and threshold. So your threshold should be 750, which is not changeable, and your credit score is something which is variable, right? It can be 600, it can be anything. So the threshold, if you're getting anything above 750, then that's a good CIBIL score or credit score. So here you will find, if you have a good credit score, then you will again have 30% of the weight. And if you're having a bad CIBIL score, then the weight might go down to 25, 29 based on the result you're getting. So these are the formulas for it. So ultimately, summing up all the weights, utility weight, DTI weight, minimum 2 years job requirement weight, and the credit score weight, it should be equal to 100%. So mostly the banks give away loans if you have anything above 90 or 95%. So in our situation, we are focusing a little more. So we are targeting 105%. If you're getting 105% weight, only then the bank will be giving you a loan to be on the safer side, so that your loan amount will be fully recovered. So this is how the banks lend loan. Now for this requirement, we will be creating a dashboard. Now firstly, let's start by creating a perfect template for our dashboard. So let's quickly jump to a PowerPoint window and create a blank PowerPoint. And here, let's try to add in some shapes to your template. And take care of the rounded corners. If you want to have a custom size for this, you can also do that. So let's go with 30 and 17.5. That should be fine. You can also take care of borders if you want to increase or decrease. Now shape fill, you can choose any of the colors. I'll go with a slighter shade of gray, 45 into 47. This could be fine, and I don't want any of the visual outlines, no outline. And maybe you can add some shape effects as well. So go to shadow, add a shadow, and if you really want to highlight that shadow, you can also do that. Go to shadow, and maybe you can increase the blur perspectives and distance perspectives to 15. That looks fine. And now you can also add in some more visuals to your dashboard. So let's add another. Take care of the curves. There you go. Now you can sort of arrange the visual, and you can also change the color, and you can also add an effect to this. You can also have a gradient fill for this. Let's go with this particular direction. Let's make it look something like this. That looks perfect. Now let's proceed on adding a few more shapes to our dashboard. So I'll go with this particular one over here. Remember the 4 parameters that we discussed. So 3 could be the width and 5 could be there you go. Now I will go with the similar shade for this, and I don't want any specific backgrounds, and I want shape shadows, and I would like to increase the blur perspective to 15 and distance perspective to 15, and I'd like to quickly copy paste this particular one, and now I would like to change the shadow to the opposite direction, which gives a little more depth. So again, this could be the same 15 and this could be again the same 15. This will be my top layer and this will be my bottom layer. There you go. Select all and go to alignment and top. Perfect. Let's also add the percentage over here to that, and we can have a text box.
Eligibility.
That looks perfect. And you can also add a few more details like the 4 parameters what we discussed right now. The utility weight percentage, so that should be center aligned, and there you have it. Now let's quickly copy paste these to here, and this will be our to interest ratio. and this will be our utility percentage. We have already added credit score. Okay, not credit score, you can have employment. And the last one will be the credit score, the CIBIL score. Now we need another similar one which will show the graph of our customers' percentages, right? So this one, and we can close this and take care of the curve. There you go. So far so good. So if you want, you can also add another tag. It's performance. Credit performance. There you have it. What you can do is quickly save this PowerPoint presentation as dashboard template. Choose this particular as file as JPG, PNG, or any of the one which you feel like. So you can add a JPG. So let's go with that. I would actually go with SVG so that it can automatically adjust to my dashboard. Scroll a little and here you find it, scalable vector graphics, and save it. And fine. So far so good. Now what we have to do is proceed with the next step where we will prepare the data for our project. Now we will be using ChatGPT Omni, so we will be writing a prompt for that. So our ChatGPT for Omni has been successfully booted, started, and here we have the prompt. So you're telling your ChatGPT that you want to create a small data set for your virtual bank. So that particular virtual bank will have the data set of all the customers, majorly 50 customers. So you'll be having the name of the customer, customer ID, minimum threshold credit score, minimum credit score of the customer in that month, and maximum credit score, average of that credit score. And similarly, minimum credit card utilization, maximum credit card utilization, and average of that, and employment in years, how many years of employment does this particular candidate has, and after that you have the last one, which is debit to income ratio. So the debit to income ratio is also, it can vary, it can change, right? But the threshold is it should be not greater than 40%. And here you're providing the credit card, you're providing the details over here, right? Ensure you create a month-on-month data set, and the credit score should be varying from month on month. And apart from that, you're providing some more minute details. The credit utilization could be 30 in some month and exceed 50 in some months, so it looks a little more realistic. And lastly, you're also adding another statement, make it look realistic. So this is the prompt. So this prompt will be copied and pasted onto your ChatGPT Omni. Now don't worry, this prompt will be available for you too as well in the description box below. Just fire the command and shortly you will be seeing that Omni will create a dataset for you which is downloadable. There you go, the dataset is ready. So it has provided customer ID, their threshold should be this, and the minimum credit score what they had, the maximum credit score what they had, and the average of that. And here you have the credit score percentage. So we've already included the formulas here. So if you can see, we have provided the formula, credit card score percentage, threshold credit score divided by average credit score into 100. And here you also have the formulas for rest of the parameters. And the dataset is completely ready. You can just click on this button and download the dataset, right? Now let's start creating the dashboard. For that, let's have a quick look on the dataset that we have. So this is our dataset. These are the employees or customers, not employees. These are customers that we will be dealing with, and their IDs, their month-on-month dataset, their threshold credit score, minimum, maximum, average credit scores, and the credit score weight here. And apart from that, here we have the threshold credit utilization, minimum credit utilization, and maximum credit utilization, average of that, and employment in years. So if you have an employment above 2 years, let's say here we have 10 years, so you have full weight, which is 2, right? So 20% full weight, and debit to income ratio, here we have it. So the threshold is 40, and the numbers which you have earned is 49, 19, right? So these are some realistic real-time numbers that we created using ChatGPT Online. So we will be utilizing this particular data set to build the dashboard. Now let's quickly switch to Power BI. So this was the earlier Power BI window which we created. Now let's try to create a new one. So go to File and click on New, so that you have a fresh template. So here we have the fresh template. We don't have to take care of this. So now, before we get started, you can go to the visual section and add a canvas background, and here browse the images. Dashboard template. This is the one which we created recently, and reduce the transparency from 100 to anywhere between 5 to 4. So I'll go with 5, and your background template is ready. Now let's import the dataset from our local file system. Updated candidate data, open, and it will be loading the data shortly. So there you go. Now click on the dataset, have a quick preview of your data, and if you're satisfied, you can just upload the data. But let's go to the transformation phase. Okay, we will do that later. Now you have your dataset ready. There you go. Now we are ready to build the visuals. Now before we build the visual, just quickly check the data. So here we have average. Okay, let me expand this section. Here we have average credit score, average credit utilization rate. Okay, some extra columns which we never needed. So we will clean that. And DTI weight, employment weight, employment in years, ID, and also we have the month and date and everything. Great. So fine. Now let's have a view of the data. So we had something called as column number 18, which we never needed. So you can just delete this particular column. We have average credit score weight, fine. So now let's go to the visualization part, and let's start building the visualization. Now let's go with a line graph. So I'll go with the line graph over here. So line graph has been successfully imported. Let's add it here, and we might also need a slicer for employees. So let's select the slicer and let's place it somewhere here. And yeah, so we will be changing this visual. Okay, let's add the data first. So it is asking for the data. Now where is the name of the employee? Here is the employee name. Drag and drop that into the field. Now go to visuals and slicer settings. If we don't want a vertical list, we want a drop down for that. And we will be doing this in parallel, right? So the modification or any sort of aesthetic changes, we will be doing it in parallel. So let's just expand this a little, and now let's change the visuals of this particular slicer. Now I have selected a drop down slicer heading, and I want this to be bold, and I don't want a border, so I don't want a background as well. Now let's go to general, header icons, FX, go to FX, and transparency should be maximum. Okay, it's not maximum. Visual border, shadow. Let's have a shadow for this so it looks better. And visual border color could be, okay, let me add a visual border as well. And let's choose the visual border to be slightly black. Transparency maybe a little 50 or something, or a little about 20. Okay, that's fine. And uh, let's also have rounded edges just like the other ones. Maybe 15 is good. There you go. Now let's go back to the canvas. There you go. Now this is how it looks like. Okay, we can also maybe improve the way the names look. Go to values and I want them to be bold. So whenever I click on this, so I have bolder name sections. There you go. Done. Now the first part is done. So far so good. Now coming back to the line graph which we had. Okay, it should have been somewhere. Maybe it went missing. Okay, no problem. We can select another time. Click on the line graph, drag and drop to this particular position. There you go. Now we will be adding the prompts here. Month will be in the y-axis and credit score. We will be analyzing the credit score, right? So we will be dragging average credit utilization rate to x-axis and we will be changing the so there you go. We have the chart over here. We can expand this and make sure that it fits the visualization or template that we created. There you go. Now let's add the data. So in x-axis we want months, month-on-month performance. So go to a month and drag this to x-axis, and here we don't want year, we don't want quarter, we just want month. And now the maximum credit score or credit, okay, we wanted average credit utilization rate and credit score, maximum credit score. So here it is. So just drag and drop it to y-axis so that you can see how is the performance. Now go to visuals and here you can add markers to have points over there and go to general and go to FX and here you can eliminate the background. We don't want the background, and maybe you can have a visual border. Okay, we don't want the visual border because we actually have it already. And shadow, maybe you can have the shadow. Okay, that's fine. Now go to the visual again, go to the format, and here you can change the terms of the chart. You can rename. Credit score report. It's not changing for some reason, but we can try once again. There you go. I was supposed to press enter. I want to add few cards. So click anywhere on the template, select card, and add it to here. So for that we need the utility weight. visual border, we don't want the background as well. And go to visuals, and here category label, we don't want the category label, and maybe you can decrease the size as well. And go to this, and here instead of sum we want average. There you go. Now you can just simply copy and paste it to other fields as well. The DTI, the employment, and finally we have the credit. Now go to the parameters, to DTI weight, add it, change the aggregation from sum to average. Here employment weight, change the aggregation from sum to average, and here the credit. There you go. Now we were supposed to have one last parameter, which is eligibility percentage, right? Now we need to mathematically calculate that. So for that we might need an extra column. Let's create that extra column. Great. Let's close this. To modeling. Or you can go to add a new column. And this particular column will be eligibility. Eligibility is equals to updated data of credit card utilization weight. Select that, plus updated credit score, plus table name, DTI weight, plus name, the last one employment weight. Enter, and there you go. So you have the percentages here. Now go to the visualization again, copy paste the visualization or card, and here you will be having let's go to data. Instead of utility, you will change that to eligibility that we just created. Drag and drop, change the aggregation to average. Now there you go. So according to the requirement, you can just process the dashboard and find the employees or candidates with highest credit score and try to call. Now I would try to call Alex Brown, and I'll see if he's eligible. I can see his credit percentage is credit month-on-month performance is good. So in May there is some high performance, maybe due to appraisals, okay, and he is crossing 105 requirement. And let's see another one, 109. He is also eligible, so you might have to call him. And this man is also eligible. So there are a few which are having a lesser score, and you can just ignore them. So that's how you can create a real-time interactive banking dashboard. So if you are creating such dashboards and if you have knowledge on financial sector and marketing sector, this is a good add-on weight to your resume, that you know some real-time business terms. So that's good. So here you have the hover over feature as well, so it will give you what was the credit score report. So here he has 809, 748 was the lowest during the June, and his highest was 1500. So that's how it goes. And with that, we have come to an end of this session on Power BI project. And if you have any queries regarding any of the topics covered in this session, or if you require the resources that we used in this session, like the dataset, template, or the dashboard, and if you have any queries apart from that, then please feel free to let us know in the comment section below, and our team of experts will be happy to resolve all your queries at the earliest. Until next time, thank you for watching and stay tuned for more from Simplilearn.
Staying ahead in your career requires continuous learning and upskilling. Whether you're a student aiming to learn today's top skills or a working professional looking to advance your career, we've got you covered. Explore our impressive catalog of certification programs in cutting-edge domains, including data science, cloud computing, cybersecurity, AI, machine learning, or digital marketing. Designed in collaboration with leading universities and top corporations, and delivered by industry experts, choose any of our programs and set yourself on the path to career success. Click the link in the description to know more.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.